welcome to Houston.
Thank you.
When you look at this young group, this young core of players, how do you feel that you fit in with them, and with your veteran presence, how are you able to lead them?
Yeah, I think first of all, I'm here to help, right? So I'm here to help them grow. I'm here to help them develop and learn, who they want to be in this league. It's totally up to them. My professionalism and work ethic, that'll translate over. That will just, be contagious. So it's been a great summer. I've spent some time with some of the guys already, but looking forward to having the whole team together to, start this journey that we're on.
Jackson.
Hey Fred, welcome to Houston. How do you think your experience and all your years in Toronto prepared you for this role with a younger team that's looking to take that next step?
Yeah, well, I think my first 2 or 3 years, obviously coming into a team that was, 59 wins, 58 wins, championship my first 3, and then my 4th year another, I think 50-something, 48 wins maybe. As a younger kind of role player coming off the bench. And then really my last 2 years was, almost a similar situation. We were a little farther along because we had some carryover from the championship, but we had a ton of young guys the last 2 years up there in Toronto. So just learning from that and, learning how to adapt and adjust and find, ways to be effective as a leader, but also continue to be effective on the floor. I think I'm gonna be able to draw on that a lot and help these guys a lot.
Jonathan.
What would you consider a successful season for this team?
Well, I always aim high, so I'm not gonna get tricked into, putting some expectations out there this year. But we have our own expectations that we've been talking about before, we've even stepped on the court. And I think you should always aim high, and the goal is to get this franchise back to, where it's supposed to be at and where it has been. There's a rich tradition here. A lot of great players have come through here. I don't know how long ago that was. Felt like you guys were supposed to be in the finals and win a championship a couple years ago. So a couple bad seasons will make it feel like that was a long time ago, but it really wasn't, that far off. So ultimately the goal is to get us back in the playoffs and competing and building towards winning a championship.
Kelly.
Fred, how important is the bond, I guess the relation between you and Coach Emil Doka, and how has that process already started just because of being able to impart on these young guys and kind of change the culture and move things forward?
I think Coach is probably the biggest reason why I'm here, and just having that draw and just some of our conversations and understanding what he wants to do, what he wants to accomplish. I've always been an extension of a coach on the floor, my entire basketball career. So I'm excited to work with him and to learn from him and see how we can work together to build this team back up. And I'm just looking forward to getting onto the court. All of this stuff is cool and fun, and pictures are nice, but I'm looking forward to getting to work and starting to build.
Just from seeing him afar, what did you think of Jalen Green? And what have you learned about him just in the time that you spent with him?
Explosive talent, top talent. He's picked number 2 for a reason. Natural scorer, competitor, plays hard. He's got that dog in him, and I always admired his game from afar. But being able to spend some time with him and work with him and start to grow that bond this summer, I'm just excited to kind of help him as he just takes that next step. Coming in as a young guy into the situation that he was drafted into, and now these years fly by, and that's my conversations with him is don't wait. There's no reason to wait, and I think it's time for him to have that big breakout that we all know he's capable of having.
Looking ahead to next summer, if USA Basketball asks you, will you play in the Paris Olympics?
I would love to. There was some interest this summer, so I was in contact with them. Just didn't, line up with what I had, in my personal life this summer, so I couldn't make the commitment. But I would definitely love to be a part of Team USA.
Cody.
Hey Fred, first and foremost, welcome to Houston. To go from undrafted to the only player to sign a max extension, how would you best describe your basketball journey up until this point?
It'll be hard to. I'm pretty laser focused in terms of where I want to go and what the things I want to accomplish. So it's hard to put into words, or it's hard to reflect, you know, when you're always looking ahead. But yeah, I think, you know, just a testament to, you know, some combination of character and work ethic, and, you know, getting out there and not being afraid of the moments and performing when it matters the most. And some good fortune, playing on some good teams obviously helps. But you know, there's always another level, there's always another journey, another challenge. And, you know, I'm excited to be here today to start a new chapter for myself.
Bashar.
Can you talk a little bit about what you bring on the defensive end? It seems like a lot of people don't talk about your capabilities on the defensive end, even though you've been one of the top 3 players in the last few years in steals, and what you can bring to your new teammates to get them up to that level.
Yeah, well, first of all, you know, the first step will just be getting us in the right spots, right? A lot of defense, especially at this level, is just being in the right spot, being in the right position, and let your athleticism and your talent, you know, take over and be able to make plays. We got some supreme athletes and guys that can make incredible plays on this team. So getting our system in, getting us in the right spots, and being ahead, you know, whether that's watching film or game planning and just being ahead of the play. A lot of young guys, they start off behind the play. So once you're able to get ahead of the play, you know, you can anticipate, and that's where you see, you know, most good defenders have success. But myself, along with Dylan, I'm excited for that, to play with a guy like that and to have that identity kind of rub off on the rest of the team, to where, you know, you take pride in playing defense, and you know, that energy is very contagious.
Adam.
Fred, do you feel like this team is counting on you for a lot, both leadership off the court, mentorship, and the basketball? And if so, and I believe the answer is yes, is that one of the reasons why you want to be here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why I'm here, and, you know, that's why that contract was what it was ultimately. You know, there's going to be a lot on my plate, and it's not something that I shy away from. It's something that I take a lot of pride in. It's who I am as a person, as a man, and I've been doing it, you know, in Toronto, and it may not be, you know, the same situation, but I have some experience in doing a lot of things for my team, and that's not going to stop for this team as well. So, again, I'm going to be who I am as a player, as a teammate, but there's always room to help guys along the way, and the faster we can get these guys, you know, up to speed and playing consistently, then, you know, the success level of this team will grow fast.
Ben.
Fred, there's not a lot of examples in recent NBA history of an all-star level player signing with a rebuilding organization like this, especially if there's no co-star in place. What was it about this situation, this organization, that made you comfortable to take that leap of faith, even considering what the results have been the last couple of years?
Well, I don't have much ego when it comes to that. There's no reason for me to be too good to come play in Houston. We didn't make the playoffs last year, so, you know, we were at home too, and we got close to the play-in. We had a good team. We underachieved by our standards, but it wasn't like, you know, I was on a championship contender and I'm going to, you know, the worst team in the league. I never looked at it like that. The opportunity presented itself. There was interest. Obviously, you know, my last situation was what it was, but conversations with, you know, management, coach, looking at, you know, trying to look ahead, plan ahead, see the future a little bit, and, you know, some opportunities come along and you know, too good to pass up. So I'm here, and I'm excited to be able to be in a position where I can be myself and be empowered to be myself and, you know, help as much as I can.
Thank you.
Fred, what was your impression of the Rockets' young talent before joining the team, and now that you had time spending with them? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was preseason or early game 2 years ago first, but even last year, just fast. Like, as you know, a team that's had some success, you kind of ease your way into the beginning of the season. We had, you know, some older guys, not that old, but I just remember how fast and explosive they were, and they kept rolling guys out. You know, they were flying around, so you could feel that athleticism, speed, you know, burst. You could feel the explosiveness. So that was my first impression, and then you start to dig into some of the guys individually. Jalen, Jabari, obviously Alfie had a great, you know, season last year. And you start to say, okay, there's a lot there. Like, there's a lot of talent, you know, in this locker room, and it's up to us to figure out, you know, how we're gonna put that together to have success as a unit. But individually, there's a ton of talent on this team.
We'll take two more. Chancellor.
Fred, Toronto has been all that you know throughout your NBA career. Then over the offseason, you signed the max contract, come to a new city, new organization, new coaches and players. What's that been like for you as you make this transition to this new chapter of your career?
It's been amazing. You know, it's been amazing. Me and my family are enjoying, you know, the city, enjoying living in Texas. My kids are in school. It's a lot warmer than Toronto for sure. So I'm enjoying that. But ultimately, you know, the NBA has changed so much over the years, and you know, you grow up wanting to play for one team your whole career, and you know, whether that happens or not, it didn't for me. And so I was just looking forward to a fresh start. And now that, you know, being here for a couple months, and now, you know, it's time for the real work to begin. I'm just excited to be in a totally new environment, back in the States, you know, somewhere with good weather and a lot of talent, and nobody really thinks much of us. It's not a bad spot to be in.
Kelly.
Fred, over the last few years, this team kind of struggled in the half court trying to get things organized and executed. Where do you come in as a leader in that aspect, and how smooth of a process do you think that will be in getting guys in the right spots and getting things to, I guess, well-oiled machine?
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes down to systems and schemes, and just seeing kind of like what sets we're going to run, and how coach, you know, puts us out there, and who's going to do what. But ultimately, it's just like having that poise and that presence to slow things down and get guys where they need to be at. And kind of just been young guys figuring it out, and you know, purposely, obviously, letting them develop and play. But you know, now it's time to kind of rein in and get some structure, and try to figure out how to maximize these guys' potential. But I think all in all, having a real point guard that can kind of slow it down and get a shot, just get a shot when you need to get a shot, you know, whether it's a good shot, bad shot, whatever, like you got to be able to get a shot, especially late in games. And the way the league is going now, it's like, you know, 5-10 games, it'll take you from 10th, 11th place to 5th or 6th, and you know, you lose a couple games by less than 5 points. It's just like execution and having poise down the stretch. So I think I can be key there.
Thank you, Fred.
Thanks, guys.